Florida State adds another player in the portal, this time an offensive lineman from the Alabama Crimson Tide. Alongside Michael Langston, senior recruiting analyst, senior portal analyst for Warchant.com. My name is Tom Lang. And Michael, Terrence Ferguson is now a Florida State Seminole. This is a large human being that Florida State had to fend off some high-level Power 5 competition to land out of the portal. Your thoughts on this addition to the 2024 class?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much Alex Atkins strikes again. Because when he has, you feel like if there's a kid that has a relationship and there's a connection, it feels like very rarely does Alex lose. And certainly this felt the case of that. He has a previous relationship with Ferguson. When Ferguson entered the portal, I checked with my contacts and said absolutely that's definitely one they're going to pursue. Certainly a guy that seems to play more inside, so you'll have more probably a inside guy, whether it's center or guard position. But overall, massive pickup, a guy that certainly has effectively played a lot. As far as just different things, he's active. He's a guy that can help you on the field, and certainly just another weapon that Alex is going to have on that offensive line.
Michael, when you consider that Florida State retained an awful lot of guys, I mean, some players that have been around for a long, long time on this roster now, and Robert Scott, Darius Washington, Maurice Smith,
Yep.
and then some newer players out of the portal that were retained for another year, in Keandre Jones and Jeremiah Byers, and some of those younger players. There's a lot to sort through. There's a lot of honest battles going to be taking place in spring camp, and Terrence Ferguson, between either the guard position or the center position, is going to factor largely, not just physically because he's huge, but this is a big guy that's coming into battle against some good names that have been here for several years.
Yeah, and he was the best looking kid that I saw all weekend that visited. And when you saw this kid, you're like, the body frame, just man, that matches exactly what FSU has in that room. When you look a lot of the guys that FSU has, and just a guy that I think you have some heavy competition with. Certainly, they can figure out where they're going to put him, but just another major pickup. I think he visited after he visited FSU, he visited Oklahoma. So certainly, you're dealing with other top schools that want this guy, but what Alex has done as far as with the offensive lineman, I think is another one of those product signals that, hey, this is why the product is there, the development is there, and so when kids see that, it's an easy transition to go into a place like FSU when they're 13-0, because I'm not even going to count that last game. That's not even that with their starters, so I'm not even going to count that. But a 13-0 team, you see the product, you see where they're going, and there's a lot of excitement around FSU. And for those that, not to take words from Dabo Sweeney, that threw dirt on us or whatnot on FSU, I think they're going to be in for a big surprise that they're just reloading with a lot of premier and elite talent. And certainly they wanted somebody in the interior for the offensive line. And we had heard for a while that Ferguson was that guy. Ferguson was the guy once he hit the portal that was the priority. And they nailed him. They got it down and, got a really big time talent.
So, Michael, do you think that Florida State is done on the offensive line? I know there's a young man from Florida whose name is in the portal that perhaps
Yeah.
Florida State could be in play for. Does an announcement from Ferguson shut down future plans, or does Florida State still want to attack this thing and add more to the offensive line?
It feels like they still want to add more because I mean, I would imagine that FSU's had this feel for. I mean, what I've heard is that Richie Leonard's the guy you're referring to. He is going to officially visit FSU on the weekend, so I'll have to check on that. But I have not heard like there was any change of what they wanted. I know they wanted a couple of prospects, but possibly they take both of them if everything goes right.
So Florida State has done a lot of work in the portal so far. They've hit the defensive line, they've hit safety. In a weird way, you get linebacker with DJ Lundy coming back to Florida State. That was also news on Wednesday the 10th here.
Right.
But it's been a very active portal for Florida State. And Michael, just want to double check with you one more thing on the total numbers that you think for Florida State. I know originally it was like maybe a half a dozen, maybe a little more than half a dozen. This thing is going double that, right? This is into the double digits.
Yeah, we're in the double digits. I think more around 14 or 15, personally. I think there's still a few more things, phenomenal news with DJ Lundy coming back, but I still think you need one or two linebackers still to help with that situation. So I could see them adding at least one. Two would put you in a phenomenal place if you got two additional portal linebackers to go along with DJ. But I think overall, I think they're on pace of what they're going to do. But I think I tend to lean more towards basically with the need still out there. That 13 to 15 range. For me, this would put them at 10. So that kind of matches up when you look at what's left, and they still want to add.
It's always a fluid situation when it comes to roster building
Yes.
in this era. Unlimited transfers, dudes in the portal. Sometimes their social media gets clean. It never ends. It never ends. So stick with us at warchant.com. Find out the latest from Michael Langston on the premium recruiting board at warchant.com. For the big news, you can always find us here on Warchant TV. It's absolutely free. Hit the subscribe button and the like button, and we will see you over at the premium recruiting board on warchant.com. For Michael, my name is Tom. Florida State lands a big offensive lineman today in stature and in significance.